to Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast and welcome to my hoarse voice. A lot of cheering at the NCAA tournament and at the casino tables, but not so much cheering at the UFC Volkov versus Werdum. We will get into Fight Night 127. We will go over all of the details there, kind of what we saw, what we had bet, and overall in general our analysis of the fight, or the two fights. So as you can see, I'm trying to get back some of the fluids for all the drinking and going out partying. Had a great time. Always have a great time when I'm out there with friends. So I had a group of us out there, enjoyed ourselves. Was not too pleased with the outcome of our UFC picks, but we will go over that now. So the best bet pick was Jimmy Manuwa, and in this fight against Blachowicz, I really believed that Jimmy Manuwa would be able to keep the distance, be able to outstrike him standing, which I think was a very critical part in this. I believe that he was going to be able to just be able to hold the takedowns, have better cardio, and just keep that distance and outstriking. That was really the role of where I was believing this fight would go. I would believe that Blachowicz wouldn't be able to last. He would struggle on on the takedowns, and I think that would really gas him and give Manuwa the opportunity to put him away late or end up getting the decision victory. That was our storyline. That's kind of the way I was looking at it. Now, what really happened? First round, I liked the way that Jimmy came out. I love the way that Manuwa came out. He came out aggressive. I think he came out a little too aggressive, but he came out aggressive. He was out striking Blachowicz. He was able to land a couple shots, putting a lot of pressure on him around the cage. Some good cage movement by Blachowicz, but he was able to at least impose some nice shots on him early. Now, it looked like it was heading that way, and that was maybe the first 2.5 minutes of the fight. And then Blachowicz lands, a beautiful combo, and that little glass jaw of Jimmy Manuwa shows up again. He's able to go to the ground. He gets on top of him. Was able to to kind of get out of that. But that combination changed the entire fight. To me, at least, that the way I looked at it, that Manuwa came in with so much confidence, so much, he was really putting energy forward. I really believe that it was almost looking like Blachowicz, knew he needed to weather this storm. And again, this is something that he knew going in, that Manuwa is a guy that is gonna push early, is gonna look for the knockout. The thing that I didn't like though in that first round, or even into the second round with Manuwa, is that he wasn't throwing combinations. He wasn't setting up the big hook or throwing a couple jabs in there to set up a nice kick with a hook to end it. He wasn't really piecing anything together that gave him the opportunity to get those openings that would land a shot to win the fight. He was almost going like the Mike Perry route, where with Mike Perry, basically, Perry's game plan for 3 straight rounds in his last fight against Payne was, he just was throwing bombs, and all that his opponent had to do was just pick him apart. And that's really what Blachowicz did. I give him a lot of credit. I really believe that he had such a great game plan going into this fight, knowing that he basically waited out, I believe, those first 2 minutes and said, this guy's going to come and try to knock me out. And the crazy part about it is that Blachowicz, probably was saying, not like he doesn't have to turtle up and hide from Manuwa, because Blachowicz is at least capable of taking a shot, but he ends up dropping Manuwa in the first round, completely the other way. He lands a great shot. He ends up, the first 2 rounds, that was the way obviously it went, but very close, those 2 rounds, 1 apiece for each of them. Even looking into that second round, that shot that basically shattered or broke or whatever it is, Manuwa's nose, really changed it. I mean, you saw the way the blood was pouring out. It really changed Manuwa's entire, outlook on how he was going to handle this fight. He once in a while threw some wild shots, but all Blachowicz had to do was he didn't have to take him down. And I was really a believer in that if he can get this to the ground, that's his path to victory, and I didn't believe he would get it to the ground. But I didn't believe that Blachowicz would be able to just stand with Manoa and outstrike him. I mean, that was, to me, the scenario that would work perfectly for Manoa and give us the opportunity to win a couple rounds to get the decision. That was really where I was headed there. And Blachowicz was just, his output was there. And that's what hurt me going into even the third round. When it was one apiece, I'm waiting for this big explosion from Manoa to at least throw a combination, get something together, and he just never did, and Blachowicz, again, he really had a great strategy going into this fight. He was, again, able to outstrike Manoa, and that's Manoa's bread and butter. It just didn't go the way that we were planning on going. I give a lot of credit against Blachowicz. He was able to get that victory in a tough fight. That really was. I mean, they were exchanging. Manoa did land some nice shots. He took them. Even the I believe it was the third round. Manoa lands or was it the second round? Lands the big leg kick. Actually, I probably have it written down here. That was the second round. So second round, he lands a big leg kick. And that was a little glimpse of, ooh, maybe this can happen. And he just couldn't really capitalize on it. It was late in the round, so it couldn't. But it's just, Blachowicz really, really put together a nice 3 rounds. Interesting to see where he's going to go next. But I really believe that he just increased his skill set so much. From the last few fights that I've seen. I thought that he had a very, very basic skill set. I know that's taking it to the next level, but I just didn't really see, he's a great mixed martial artist, but I didn't see much from him looking at his last fights. And this was the best performance that I saw from Blachowicz from any of the fights, the last 4 fights that I saw. He really looked good. I give him a lot of credit. So that was our best bet. We did 2 units on Jimmy Manoa, and that will give us, now we're 14-6. 14 wins, 6 losses. We lost 2 units there, so we are still plus 12.35 units on the year for best bet pick. Still not too shabby. A little upset that I decided on this one being the best bet. A little upset, but hey, you can't win them all. And like I said in the bankroll management video, you got to take some losses on the chin. But the great part about this is there's always events coming up. So we will have to take a look at UFC 223 when that comes around to get our next best bet in. Now, the other fight we had was a 1-unit play, Alexander Volkov versus Fabricio Werdum. Now, this fight to me was one I didn't really see much coming out of Volkov's side going into this fight and what I saw. And the first 2 rounds really showed me we're dead on. We are right, easily able to take down Volkov. I wouldn't say that in those first 2 rounds that Werdum did a lot of damage. He was in great spots. Even in that first round, he had a dominating position for most of the round, and he landed, there were some shots he landed, but that's his wheelhouse. That's where he wants to be, and he didn't really do anything. And as soon as he got him to the ground the first time, I said, this fight could end. This could legitimately end this fight right here. Werdum on top, this is where we want it to be. Didn't really do much. And then in that second round, I got to give credit though, Volkov was able to push off a lot of those, the takedown opportunities. He was really, really able to fend those off. But in that first round also I want to go back to is Werdum was on top for basically the whole round. And, in that scenario, he gets up and he looked exhausted. He was on top of Volkov, and he looked exhausted, and that was not a good sign. So then going into the second round, he's still fending off some takedowns, Volkov. Volkov was still able to land, throwing some nice combos in there. He does have a nice output. He definitely throws a lot of punches, and that one is going to find the hole once in a while. So he, let's see now, and that was the second round. And but again, in the second round though, he had opportunities. Werdum had opportunities to put him away or really dominate the fight. And and he just wasn't able to capitalize and look for the submission, try to finish the fight. He wins those first two rounds, I believe at least, pretty much. That third round though, it started to go the other way. Volkov lands a really nice left shot that did whatever it did to Werdum's face. I'll have to take a look at that. I literally just got back home and I wanted to get this video out to everybody and go over the fight and discuss everything. So I just want to get this out. I haven't really done any research yet, but that there's definitely going to be a fracture of some sort there. And that was the turning point. Once that happened, it really went in Volkov's favor. He really was able to pick him apart. He looked like he just had a little more in the tank than Werdum, and he looked in a lot of pain. Werdum, though, even at that point, I was hoping he was just going to just relentlessly try for takedowns and just get this to the ground. At this point, he was not going to outstrike Volkov standing, get it to the takedown. Even when he got there, Volkov was able to do nice reversals to get him on top and to get him out of that position. He really did well. I give, again, another hat. My hat off to Volkov. He did a great job. Gets this victory, was able to put him away. I think it was definitely a mix of the great shot that Volkov landed that caused the damage to Werdum's face, and also Werdum, to me, did not look impressive. And again, that can be contributed to Volkov fighting well, or you can contribute to just Werdum not looking that good. I just thought that there was opportunities for him early in that fight. That, of course, if Werdum's in his prime, but that's not what we're betting on. We're betting on right now. Werdum really, didn't really show up for this fight. Even early, like I said, he did win those first few rounds, or at least was in downing positions, but there was nothing there. There was really nothing there. So, there you have it. We lose this one here too. We go 0-2 on the night. Not too happy. Still having a profitable year. But, let me know what you guys think, because what I want to do here now is as well, and comment on this video is, what did you guys see? Was there spots in there that maybe I should have handicapped it the other way, and what did I overlook on Volkov? Even with the same thing on with Jimmy Manawa. And we are having great conversations, within the comment section with a bunch of you guys, and I appreciate the support for the channel and the growth that we're having, and everybody that's getting involved. And again, win or lose, we want to talk about it, and we want to see what can we capitalize on for next time, and what did we miss this time. So let me know what you guys think. Shoot those comments down. I also want to say, just before we leave, congratulations to the 4 winners. Like I said, I just got home. I will be shooting out those $25 increment of cryptocurrency to you guys. So be on the lookout for that later this evening. Another card down. We will have more content here on Mr. UFC Fight Club TV. Take care, everybody.